Hey, thanks for joining my channel. I'm Tina Marie J. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get straight into this video, alright? So, this video actually is experience that I had with magic mushrooms, and that actually goes with the reason why I actually feel better after dealing with my grandmother passing and my dog being put down. Last summer, I took a little trip. So I journeyed twice. I microdosed. My second journey was a life-changing journey, and I know that if I were to do it some more, that I would have even more life-changing journeys. But my second journey, I learned a lot, and it was amazing. I spent an entire night until 7 a.m. in the park, not alone, but in the park. I had my dogs with me also, and I just enjoyed just the nature. So one thing I know about myself after doing psilocybin is that I cannot feel enclosed. I have to feel liberation. I have to feel free. I cannot feel like I can't express, because I'm naturally a very expressive person. That's why it's hard for me to lie about who I am. It's hard for me to just give in to what people want to believe about me just to make themselves feel better, because I need to be free to be me. And that is something that I really learned on my journey. So I really enjoyed my experience. In the beginning, it started off a little bit rocky because I dealt with some nausea. I started to panic a little bit, but then I started mainly panicking off of the nausea because I was afraid of not coming back from being nauseous. I was like, I'm gonna be nauseous for the rest of my life, because I didn't feel like actually throwing up, but I felt nauseous. But after the nausea, I realized I need to be outside in nature. I need to be out. I cannot be in my house, because being in my house made me feel more and more enclosed. As soon as I got outside and I got outside my house, instantly, just like that, I felt so much freedom. I felt so much better. I was in nature. I was looking at the leaves on the trees because it had rained previously, and so it was in that nice beautiful mist. I was appreciating that nice beautiful mist that you feel after it rains. I ate almonds, so I'm like feeling it on my tongue. I'm trying to move it and talk at the same time without making it obvious. So if I'm making weird face expressions, that's why. It's just all in my mouth, you know. I like chocolate covered almonds. They taste very good. I had a very amazing experience because of the nature, and it was very healing for me, and I just felt very connected. The way that I felt personally, and a lot of other people have also said that they felt similar, I felt very connected with nature. I felt very in tune. I felt very one and grounded with the earth and with nature, with the universe. At one point, I took off my, right as the sun was starting to come up, I took off my shoes and my socks, and I was walking through the grass, and then I started walking on the ground. And I hate wet grass on my feet, because like I said, I had rain previously, but it felt amazing. It felt beautiful. It felt pure. I loved walking on the concrete, because the concrete, they had just fixed it up so it's new and it's fresh. And I really loved walking on the concrete barefoot, because I felt like the sun was coming down and hitting the concrete, the ground, and it was just like glistening, and I felt like it was like energy coming up into my heels and into the soles of my feet. I know that sounds really weird, but this is literally what I experienced. The other major thing that I experienced that was very life-changing for me, after that trip, no longer feared death the way that I did before. I think my biggest fear is not living before I die. My fear is not necessarily dying. What I experienced about death during that time was that there is something on the other side. I am telling you, there is something. And I felt like while I was in the park that whole time, I felt like there was spirits around me, but it was not creepy. So basically, what happens is when you take psilocybin, you experience an ego death if you have enough of it. you experience an ego death. And basically what happens is like things that would normally bother you, or things that you would feel grossed out about, things that would make you uncomfortable or embarrass you, it doesn't. You just don't care. You literally, you just don't care, because you are not concerned with what anyone on the outside thinks. You finally see things for what it really is. So that really opened up my mind, and I felt so much beauty, and I just felt like, wow, the afterlife is amazing. I don't know what it was, but I was shown something in the park that night while I was walking over the bridge, I was looking at the water, and I just was like, I just had this feeling like it almost felt like I entered another dimension. Because like I said, I was seeing shadows. It looked like two shadows playing, and then they ran into a bush. And you know, you do deal with delusions and hallucinations and all that. So maybe I was hallucinating. But here's my thing. What if I was hallucinating something that was really happening? What if our hallucinations are real, and the reality that we are currently given is the fake thing? Like, what if what we've been conditioned to see things as it is right now, but these things that we're seeing is not real? You know what I'm saying? That's how I think. So when you take psilocybin or any psychedelics, you do begin to think differently. You start to open up a lot more. And me taking psilocybin and psychedelics since leaving religion has really opened me up a lot, and has shown me a lot of experiences. And it's also shown me more about who I am. It's shown me more about what I'm capable of. It showed me more about just life in general, and what I need to change about myself. And now everywhere I go, I'm looking at people, and I'm analyzing situations, and I'm just absorbing everything in, and I'm thinking constantly, because I feel like there is so much more to this life than what we know. And I mean, clearly this is why there is a controversy with the whole thing, right? But I'm not gonna get into all that, because YouTube is too sensitive. Before I continue, listen, I am not trying to condone, especially if you're underage, you're not mature enough to handle it. I am just saying, for me personally, this is my experience, this is what I experienced. This is purely just for experience, like spiritual journey. And this is not something I would do often. This is why it's not something I do often. This is something I have to feel like I want to have a spiritual experience. And the spiritual experience I had really helped me to not have fear of death. And this is why when I think about my grandmother and my dog, I feel that death is not just like what the Bible says it is. I used to always fear hell because of that. I'll be 100% honest with you guys, me taking psilocybin has pretty much almost 100% cured my fear of hell. It has almost 100% cured my fear of hell. I would say I'm at a good 95% fearless now of hell, thanks to taking shrooms. I mean, if you do research on it, it's cured depression. They've given it to people who were fearful of dying, who were dealing with terminal illnesses. You know, I've watched documentaries on these things. I'm that person who, I don't just do stuff. Like, I really research everything, and I research stuff just because I'm curious all the time. And I learned a lot about myself. Like I said before, like, I need to be free. I need to be free to be myself. I do not operate well when I am not free to express myself or to be who I am, or when I have to silence myself, which is why I'm not good at keeping my mouth shut, because I'm not meant to keep my mouth shut. I'm not good at that. Yes, I do believe I have to use wisdom, and I have to think before I speak. That's common sense. But otherwise, to be myself, I cannot operate in relationships or friendships where I cannot be 100% free and 100% myself. And this is why I do not do well with religion, because I'm fighting myself. And this is something I learned about myself, is when I feel completely free, I just feel so amazingly, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just like, I cannot find the words. My experience was so intense. Like, literally no words can describe it. I mean, I felt like it lasted over the next 2 days, the effects for me, and it wasn't anything bad. I felt like complete peacefulness and calm. You know, it was amazing. I just really know more about myself now, and I accept myself more, and I accept that there are things that I need to work on within myself, and not even just work on within myself, but even like my dreams and goals. Like, it really makes you look at life and makes you think and become more appreciative, so where you appreciate more of what you have, more of where you are in life, and you realize, like, you know what, I can do a lot more, but I'm the reason I'm not doing a lot more. And this is just something I learned about myself. Like, I can do any you know, any of these things that I really want to do if I really put my focus and attention into it. And instead of me comparing myself to other people, thinking, well, I can't do it because that's something that person could do, that's not something I could do. And no, like, now my thinking is even more, no, I can actually do the things that I want to do. Like, if I really want it, shoot, I could do it right now, overnight, easy, no problem. That's how I think now. That's how I think. But you know, like, that's my experience. I don't know, some people may judge me for it. I'm being honest with you. I don't care if you do. That's your business. That's nothing to do with me. That's on you, and that's fine. And I'm being humble. I'm not trying to be stuffy about it. I'm just being honest. But if you've experienced it, then do let me know down below in the comments what you've experienced, or if you've ever been curious or whatever. I don't know, this is a part of my whole journey, and this was very healing for me. If you ever were to decide to do it, I strongly suggest that you be careful with the people you're around. That's number one. And number two, you're not alone. And number three, make sure you're somewhere near some sort of nature, because the nature is what's gonna make you feel completely grounded if you're feeling like that panicky feeling. That's just my personal suggestion. And just like I said, like, be very careful with the people you're around, the type of energy, because you become very hypersensitive to a lot of things. Like, your sensory overload, it's insane. It's insane. Oh my god, I think I could write a whole book in one night on that stuff, I'm telling you. Anyway, that is the end of this video. If you did enjoy it, do give me a nice little thumbs up. And if you're interested in watching more videos and following my journey, then make sure you do subscribe. Enjoy your day, stay safe. Anything you need to know is down in the description box. I'll see you guys in the next video. I get those goosebumps every time. I get those goosebumps every time. Every time, those goosebumps every